everybody, it's Alex once again checking in from the teen scene room at Churchland, and I got 5 more brand new young adult books to tell you about, so if you'll come in and check them out. Let's start it off. We got The Cost of Knowing by Brittany Morris. Basically, 16-year-old Alex works in an ice cream shop, and he has been given a strange gift/curse. Basically, Alex's issue is anytime he touches an object, he can see his future. So if he's scooping ice cream, he touches a scoop, he sees himself scooping ice cream. If he touches his car, he sees it in the future, underwater, long after its useful life. But of course, this causes problems in his life. He touches his girlfriend Talia, and he sees them breaking up in the future. Kind of sad. And then he touches a photo of his brother Isaiah, and he sees his imminent death. And this chain sets off a chain of events to try to prevent it from happening. And will he be successful? You'll have to read this one to find out. But, really thrilling concept there from Brittany Morris. Excited for that one. All right, next up, we got Wings of Ebony by J.L. All right, so this one a little more fantasy. What it is Rue, a young girl, lives in the East Row neighborhood of Houston, Texas, with Moms and her sister Tasha. When Moms is murdered, her absent father comes back and whisks her away to a magical land called Gizan, the mystical world of the gods. Rue's already kind of in trouble there because she's the first ever half human, half god to show up there. So, that caused a lot of problems for her in Gizan. But then, adding to the trouble, Rue decides to go visit her sister, Tasha, back in Houston. And so nobody's ever supposed to leave Gizan because they like to live shrouded in secrecy. She goes back to Houston. She sees her neighborhood, the kids in her neighborhood being forced into crime and violence, including potentially her sister. So it becomes a question of will she wield her godly powers in order to save the neighborhood? So mixing reality and fantasy, definitely check this one out if you like that kind of stuff. Good one there. All right, for those who want a little romance, we've got Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. All right, in this book, Liz Buxbaum loves romantic comedy films. Studies them all the time, but she's never had anyone really try what she's learned from them on anyone. Living next door is Wes Bennett. Liz has known Wes all her life and remembers him as the kid who used to terrorize her, putting worms in her hair, things like that. So when Liz's lifelong crush Michael returns to town, he quickly becomes friends with Wes. So Liz realizes Wes is her ticket to getting Michael to go to prom with her, and they team up. Of course, in the process, Liz begins to realize she actually likes being with Wes. And of course, romantic confusion ensues. So if you like romances, rom-coms, this is one to check out. Once again, it's Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Good stuff there. All right, we're going to get a little more serious now. This is Everything Sad is Untrue by Daniel Nayeri. This book is based on a true story, basically Daniel's story. Using the vessel of Khosrow, Daniel Nayeri tells the story of being an immigrant from Iran and Oklahoma. Khosrow tells fabulous stories about his ancestors, his harrowing escape from Iran, living as a refugee in Italy, and trying to make America home. So if you want to know more about life as a refugee and what that's like as a young child, Khosrow is, I believe, 10 years old in this book. It's a fascinating story, but also more about Iran. Iran has a a pretty wild history. It was a pretty progressive nation until the 70s, when all of a sudden, late then, it got taken over by religious fundamentalists and kind of turned it upside down. If you want to also know more about that, I recommend the animated film and graphic novel, Persepolis. But yeah. Good book. Good stuff. All right, last one. I always like to bring some nonfiction to you here. Pulling back the curtain there. Anyway, one more nonfiction book. This is Freedom Summer by Bruce Watson. It's been adopted for young people by Rebecca Steffoff. And basically, if you're into social justice, if you're staying up on all that that's going on, this is a very important book to read. Basically, it's all about the summer of 1964 when the Student Nonviolent coordinating committee organized a bunch of students to go down to Mississippi that summer and help register people to vote, fight for democracy, something we're dealing with this summer. And right off the bat, unfortunately, 3 students went missing. It turned out they were murdered. Some have brought in whether it was the Ku Klux Klan. Another film, if you read this, you want to tie it in, Mississippi Burning, is all about that. But anyway, despite the instant violence, some of the volunteers went home. You know, it's an intense situation, but a lot of them stayed. A lot of them fought for it. Despite getting threats from the locals, a lot of people living in Mississippi at the time, did not want African Americans to vote, black people to vote. Churches were burned. People were beat up. More high-profile people came to Mississippi to stay on. You know, and it's all about that summer and its critical piece before the passing of the Voting Rights Act the following year. But there's great pictures in here. It's very well done. So if you want to know more about that topic, Freedom Summer, come pick it up. That's all I got for you today. Of course, we're getting new books all the time, as I always say. So, you know, come on in, browse the new release rack up front here. Some of the nonfiction books, this one will be back here, but some of them are on the new nonfiction up front. Yeah, we'll get those for you. But come on in, or if you don't want to come in, you know, with your library card, you can go to the website. I'm going to put it right down at the bottom of the screen right here. That's how you link to our catalog, and with your library card and PIN, you can log in and put any of these books or other ones on hold, and they'll be ready for you right at the front. Or you can still call in and do curbside pickup. You know, it's up to you. I know the Delta variant's going crazy out there, so maybe you don't feel safe, and we want to make sure you can still use your library and get the resources that you need. So we'll be here for you. Come see us. And yeah, hope you're having a great summer. Hope you know, you did some fun summer reading and summer activities. And stay tuned for more new books from Portsmouth Public Library. This has been Alex. Have a great day. Bye.